Here we're going to show you how to put together a foam handle with foam grips. It's a little different than cork in the sense that you don't ream it out, but there are a few little tricks to it. So most of the time you're not going to be able to get that perfect size cork to where it slides down just perfectly on the blank. Just like in this case, our cork comes up short to where it's not going to slide down all the way. Not a problem. There's a really easy fix to that. All we're going to do is slide the cork down, let it fall, give a little bit of help maybe, and wherever it stops, without forcing it, whatever, go ahead and, with a China marker, mark the top of the grip, or not on the grip, but on the blank where the top of the grip is. And what we're going to do is, we're going to epoxy from that point down. Because what that does, since that rod slides all the way down to here without any problems, by putting epoxy at the top of the foregrip, it's going to slide in here without any problems, and it's going to get a good amount of epoxy all around the inside of the grip, which is going to help us to slide it down all the way. Now before we go ahead and epoxy, so we can slide our grip all the way, our rear grip all the way down, we want to go ahead and put our butt cap on. In this case we're using a butt cap. It's the same way for a gimbal. Go ahead and put your butt cap on before you slide your rear grip down. That way your butt cap's already seated and it'll just push your rear grip down right on top of it. If you push your rear grip down, it's hard to guesstimate where to stop to fit your butt cap. So just start, like we said before, from the butt to the tip. First piece in this case is the butt cap. There's room between the cap and the blank. We're going to do just like before. Build it up with a little bit of masking tape. Since this is a fairly large butt cap, we're going to go ahead and put 2 rounds of masking tape on here. Alright, now that we've got our tape built up, once again, slap a nice bunch of epoxy on there. Again, push it in between on the sides of the tape and on the outside to really lock in those wraps of tape to keep them from twisting on you. Alright, sticking on there. A little twist, you're good to go. These butt caps are nice, they've got a hole in the bottom of them to let the air come out. But some of them don't, and in some cases the tips aren't hollow of the blank. And the air pressure inside of the blank, when you push the cap on, will constantly push your cap back off. And what you want to do is, once you have your rear grip on, take a couple strands of tape and tape your butt cap up tight against your rear grip so that the air pressure inside won't push it off. And that way once the epoxy cures, you can take the tape off and it'll be locked on there. Since we can go ahead and just take this epoxy here and pull it up on the blank, because this is where we're going to slip our rear grip on. There's my China marker from earlier, so I know that's where I need it. That's to the extent towards the tip where I need to put my epoxy. You start there and work your way down. Just slide it down. And when you're doing this, push from the top of the foam. If you push from the bottom and the top, you're tightening the foam because you're pulling it apart from itself almost. Just going to put your weight into it. And there we go. Bottom's out. When you see that epoxy kind of mushroom out, in some cases your foam will be, condensed from pushing it down that hard. What you want to do is just take a little bit of that excess, go ahead and put it above the foregrip, and then we're just going to keep your butt cap on the counter or something and just kind of pull that grip back apart. Sometimes they do, squeeze into, an inch or so difference on a 10-inch handle, so you can turn a 10-inch handle into a 9-inch handle if you're not careful by pushing it down too hard. Then make sure your butt cap is on the surface, because otherwise if you're pulling against it here, you could pull that butt cap down off of your blank. Support the butt cap on the counter and then just pull the top and kind of twist it a little bit of your grip and it'll pull itself right back out. If you get epoxy on your handles, or your butt cap even at this point, don't move on to the next step. Go ahead and get it off. And it makes it so much easier. It pays to be as neat as you can from the start. And once again, go ahead and slide the bottom nut of the reel seat up so it's out of the way where your epoxy is going to touch. And you get that, you finish it and get a little bit of excess on there. Wrap it up with some masking tape, leave a little tag in so it's nice and easy for you to pull off. Slide it back down. Go ahead and mark again with a China marker right where the reel seat stops. Once again, we're using U40 rod bond. That's what you're going to use to put the whole handle together. Once again, we've got our tape here. Just pull our tape off, most of the excess. Alright, now that we've cleaned up our handle and our reel seat, what we've got so far, we need to put our foregrip on. Once again, slide her down, see where it stops. Alright, again, we're coming up short. So we'll take the China marker, mark the blank where the top of the grip is, where it stops. Starting up at the top, so where you really need that good amount of epoxy so that grip gets all slicked up inside. And just slide her down. Once again, push from the top. Kind of pulling it back up a little bit. Fully expand what we just pushed together. And there you go. Clean it up, just like all of the other parts of the handle. Now you have a foam handle together.